Unions in Greece have begun a 48-hour general strike and protest against austerity measures forced on the Greek government as part of an EU-IMF bailout. Parliament is due to vote on the strict measures on Wednesday and Thursday. For the latest, we're joined now from Athens by Europe correspondent Emma Alberici. Emma, organisers were promising millions on the street. We can see a little of the picture behind you, but what's the turnout like?
Well, I'm sure that you'll be able to hear in the next few minutes some of what sounds like gunfire, but is actually the release of tear gas. We felt it. We're 7 floors above street level here. You can hear that going off now. They're trying to disperse the crowds. And even at this distance, 7 floors up, we're getting large wafts of it coming up and affecting our vision. And I have to tell you, it's a shocking situation all round. People who are based here are telling us that they haven't seen conflict like this in 3 years, since that young teenage boy was killed by police 3 years ago.
To date, Emma, the protests have been very peaceful. What's happened with this particular protest to inspire this response from authorities?
Oh no, it started off very peaceful, but I have to say there are hundreds of people involved. What they've been doing is they've taken picks and axes to the stone walls around the square here, and they've actually chopped off bits of stone and marble, and they're hurling that at police and pretty much anyone who isn't on their side. So we're seeing clashes between the anarchists and the police, but also between the anarchists and the otherwise peaceful protesters. So it's really erupted in absolute chaos. Everyone's shutters are down, including this hotel where we are. It was very difficult for us to even get in here. And we were caught in the melee down there and had tear gas fired at us indiscriminately because we were part of a general crowd trying to get through to here.
Well, of course, as we said earlier, this vote on the austerity measures will be taken later this week. Are these protests going to make any difference to the outcome of that vote?
Well, the vote is scheduled for just another 24 hours' time. It's hard to see how this situation could get any worse, and yet they still haven't got the word about whether the Parliament will pass this $40 billion worth of tax rises and public service cuts. The people we've been speaking to on the streets here are simply saying, yes, there's widespread tax evasion in Greece, but it's not the people on the street, the PAYE tax earners. It's the upper end. Yes, there is fat to trim in the public service, but not the doctors, the nurses and the teachers, the people who are going to feel the economic pain being inflicted by the Parliament because of a condition imposed on them by the EU and the IMF in return for this $100 billion or so, a second bailout that is being argued for in the Parliament just behind us here.
Emma Alberici in Athens, many thanks for joining us. I know you'll keep us up to date with events through the night.